And what's up, everybody? We are live here with the one and only Rika Wildlee. What is going on, my man?
Nothing sitting back, making the most of every single day, as only a clown like me can do.
All
How are
right,
you?
I'm doing pretty well. It looks like we got the same kind of color scheme going on here. I love it.
I do too. I really love that green. It matches the ambiance per se.
Yes, yes. Oh, I can already tell we're gonna be pretty good friends. Oh man, so yeah, hey, for anybody that doesn't really know or are getting into like the indie scene, um, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to some of the people that might not know who you are?
Well, thank you first off for having me on your podcast, doing an interview with the Barker of the Bazaar. I am Rika Wildlee, and I have jumped through the ranks higher and faster than most indie artists that you have seen before. So, with that said, you're going to be seeing a lot more of the Barker before long because the lights are bright and they only shine brightest at match time.
I love it. I love it. So your move style. I mean, do you do like high flying or are you more of a like a power? To me, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess you are a mix of high flying and like the ground and pound.
Well, the deal about it is with a man my size and a sight as big as mine, you only can do the moves that suit your style, which is more of a luchador style, a high flyer, a jumpy guy, whatever you want to call him, it doesn't matter because once my legs are wrapped around their head and their head is driven into the mat with a head scissor, it doesn't make anything that much greater, does it?
I've seen that move, and I've seen your finish move before.
Oh my
It's that neck breaker thing you do is I get
Well,
it.
you see, that is called the big top. That is my finishing maneuver, and it has put many flat of their back. And the reason that it got its name as the big top is so when I hear the announcers say that Rika Wildlee is setting up the big top, I know that the end is near and their defeat is inevitable. Because once they hit the neck breaker and they're flat of their back, the 1, 2, 3 is all mine.
What is your favorite type of match to be in?
Oh, well, as of late, yeah, well, actually in December, me and the gatekeeper had a Singapore cane match, the first time that I ever had the blessed match of getting beat with a cane. You know, I've seen many of these matches happen, and I've seen many canes get smacked across many different body parts, but when it's your body getting peached between those cane barbs, it makes it so much greater and you soak it in so much more and you feel it in your soul and in your bones to take that cane and give him just as much punishment as he's giving you. So I'm gonna have to say the Singapore cane match has become one of my all-time favorites.
That's that's awesome. I mean, there's some people that love the pain. There's some people that hate the pain. I have never gotten hit with one and don't plan on to, but I could only imagine the feeling it will be. And
You have to embrace the bazaar. Some enjoy it, some don't, but it's going to happen regardless. So you can either embrace it or have it defeat you. Really, what side of the fence are you on?
I mean, hey, I took a chop before, and that was good enough for me.
Yes, yes, I understand that. That is one of my least favorite moves.
Yeah, it makes me never want to set foot in the ring with Gunther at all.
Well, there you go. I've took a chop from a guy named Logan Wade, and if y'all haven't seen him, you can follow him on TikTok. You can follow him on Facebook. The guy is about 6'5", about 300 pounds, with a hand the size of a baseball mitt, and he has chopped me many a times, cut me a backflip over the top rope, if you know what I mean, to where I thought my chest had caved in. So I understand that chops suck in either way.
Let's go to the chat real quick. Hey, what's up, Don? Thanks for joining in. Like I said, he has been following you. It looks like, and knows pretty much almost there is to know about you. That's pretty cool. What?
Thank you for the fun.
Yeah, yeah. So where did Rika come from? Like what? Where did this the big top thing come from?
Well, the original gimmick was it was going to be Rika the wild card Lee, because Rika's middle name or his guy's middle name is Lee, and Rika Wildlee just kind of played into over time, and that's how Rika Wildlee became a thing. You know, when I was younger, I used to play D&D, and I had a character by the name of Ricochet, and I just took the Rika from Ricochet and the Wild from Wild and the Lee from Lee, and I just bolted it together, and it became the Barker that you see sitting before you now. But the big top, that was a whole different scenario. As the lights got brighter with each promo I produced, as the matches became greater and the things became more hype, it only made sense that I, Rika Wildlee, would drag the characters into my home and grant them a ticket to be put upon the shelf, taking each bit of their essence each time I win, each time a victory is gained, and a light shines brighter upon the big top, and they are set upon the shelf inside a jar on the sideshow for all the freaks to enjoy. That is where Rika stays, and that is where Rika will remain until gold graces his shoulder.
And that is the goal, right? World championships.
That's right. That's right.
Where do you see going past beyond? Like, do you see yourself going to like a big promotion, like WWE, New Japan, AEW, anything like that? Or, I mean,
well, the
steps at
way
a
I
time, right?
see it, well, the way I see it is the indies are growing every single day. There's more promotions putting out more talent than we have ever seen before. Now, there is so much things happening in the big wrestling like pro New Japan, or you've got AEW and WWE. There's so much happening in all three federations, even with Impact taking in with AEW and becoming kind of a unified thing going on. You know, that's a lot for an indie star to take in. If a person was ever to give the Barker, give Rika Wildlee a chance to step up onto that bigger stage, who am I to turn down such an opportunity? Not that I wouldn't enjoy making my own path, which I know I could do eventually. I would love to step up on that bigger stage, come across a few TV screens, and make the most of the big top that you know best.
I get the feeling you're friends with the Joker, no?
Well, I knew a guy. Let's just put it that way.
Knew a guy. I love it. I could see you guys being a tag team, being nice friends.
Well, he seems like an okay fella.
He seems like he's alright with capturing a few souls as well, you know.
Well, see, the thing about Rika Wildlee is I don't need the whole soul. I just need a tad bit of your essence to keep these lights burning bright so that I can stay on top of my game.
Who has been your favorite opponent to face so far?
Oh, that's a hard one. Like I said, I faced a few different guys. I faced a few colorful characters throughout the UWE. When I first came in, me and another guy faced Sinister Storms, which is Punk Sinister and Xavier Storms, a tag team unlike any other. They were new at the time, but they worked together so flawlessly. But when they discovered the Big Top doesn't put down and doesn't give up, it was a 1, 2, 3 for old Punk Sinister. But with that said, my favorite match that I've had so far had to happen in Texas. Martial Brawl against the Gatekeeper, the Singapore Cane match, feeling the pain, feeling the adrenaline, and feeling the crowd chant my name as I choked the life out of the Gatekeeper and took those clippers in that mask versus hair match and peeled his head bald as his body laid unconscious under me. It only made everything that I want to do in the future relevant. So that is my favorite match. Rika Wildlee versus Gatekeeper at Martial Brawl in Marshall, Texas, December 18th.
Yeah, definitely. Like I would love to see one of your matches and go to the Big Top. I mean, the Big Top seems pretty cool.
Oh, it's an amazing, wondrous place that I hope all fans and roster get to enjoy before Rika Wildlee's lights are turned out for good.
It seems like you do travel a lot too as well. It looks like I saw your calendar. Um,
Yes, yes.
Now, I mean, it must be kind of difficult to carry the Big Top around, no?
Well, that's the thing. It's not up to Rika Wildlee to carry the Big Top from town to town. It's in the heart and in the mind and in the spirit of every sideshow freak that's sitting in the audience, ready to see the Big Top do what it does best and leave their opponent flat of their back. It is up to them to carry the spirit and the wondrous magic of the sideshow and the Big Top from town to town. So each time I see a little sideshow freak sitting in the audience wearing a Rika Wildlee t-shirt or a Rika Wildlee style mask or a top hat, I know that the Big Top is here to stay and the magic has come home.
Which those shirts, by the way, you can get on Pro Wrestling Tees. The link is in the description right now. I checked
Yes,
it out. There's some pretty cool designs there. I might be picking up a few myself.
thank you, thank you.
And if I'm not, I was told you made all the designs yourself, no?
Why, yes, yes, I designed every T-shirt. I've designed every logo that I put out, whether it be on my Facebook, my Twitter, my T-shirts, every logo and picture that you see put out. If there is some kind of special design to it, I personally made that. And there's been others that I've made for, as far as fans go, to put out for themselves. So I'm all about helping out as far as logos go. And if it helps me out, put another T-shirt or a poster or an 8x10 for fans to buy or sell or whatever. It makes me happy to do so. So yes,
We definitely appreciate it, man. For sure. And again, like I said, you go check them out. They are Pro Wrestling Tees. Links in the description. They are some pretty cool shirts. Also, I'm digging that mask too. Like for a while, I thought it was just paint, and it definitely is pretty cool looking.
everyone thinks it's paint. Everyone thinks that I'm just another carnival clown with their face painted like old Bozo. But guess what? There's a lot more behind this mask than you know, sir. And there's a lot more that Rika Wildlee is going to give the wrestling world before it's all over with. Because the Big Top is as big as your imagination can see. And as I see it, it's endless.
And it's just getting started, right?
That's right.
Don has something to say. He said the Fiend and Rika as a tag team would be cool.
Oh, that would be wondrous in any form, wouldn't it? But you see, that's the thing about old Rika Wildlee. Everyone does the dark gimmick. Everyone says I'm crazy and scary and from hell and from the asylum and this and this and this. Well, guess what? I'm not. I am from the brightest, most wondrous, magical place that you could see, a wonderland of sorts. I and the one that you seek out when you need a happy place to go. Every time you dream, every time you see a kid going, oh, mommy, daddy, I need to go and ride the big top. I need to go and get up on the Ferris wheel. I need to ride the roller coasters. Oh, it's up to me to grab them and pull them on in so each family member gets exactly what they want. And that is a ticket granted to such magic that only I can give.
You mentioned roller coasters and stuff. I mean,
Yes,
with my name, that is my thing. You know.
that's what I'm saying. It only suits that I am on your podcast.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I must ask though, do you like roller coasters?
Oh, I love working on them. I love riding them. I love riding them backwards. I love letting others ride them. I love making each time I'm on the coaster a great experience, throwing my hands up in the air, trying to let everybody know that it's so scary. But guess what? I know it's all fun and games, and the coasters only go when I punch start. So I know it's all magic and wonder, and I'm ready for everybody to try a roller coaster. If you haven't,
Do you have a favorite?
well, I really don't. I'm more of a just go and try them out kind of guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Just any shape or form. The bigger, the better.
So the biggest one I'll break it down a little bit. The biggest one I've ever been on was it's in Ohio. I don't know if you've ever been to a place called Cedar Point.
I am not.
It's right on Lake Erie. It has over 18 roller coasters. So
Oh
it's
wow!
right up there, you know, and they have one, it's called the Top Thrill Dragster, right? And it goes 0 to 120 miles an hour in 4 seconds.
Oh my gosh!
Yep, and you go up in the air 420 feet and then you come right back down. So 17 seconds and you're done.
I don't know if I could do that. That seems pretty wild. I don't even know if my mask would stay on.
Maybe because of the sheer force of the wind coming at you, but
Let's hope so. I lose entire gimmick in one roller coaster. It would be hard.
yeah, the face reveal, that'd be
That would be crazy.
yeah, but I mean, so I mean, with this big top and everything that you're doing, is there other things at? Is it like a big circus, or is it just the big top?
Well, see, that's the most magical thing is each time I face an opponent and I beat them, there is a magical thing that happens, and it is this. You see this jar? You see this jar here?
I do,
It's
yeah.
just an ordinary jar. It really is. It's just an ordinary jar until I capture the essence of my opponent and then I put them on display at the sideshow. And when the sideshow freaks buy their ticket to witness the amazement and wonder of all the opponents that I've captured, it makes the lights shine brighter than ever, and it makes me more powerful and more determined than ever before. So the sideshow freaks get to see each character that I have collected. So it's a big top, it's a sideshow, it's a magical place of wonder and happiness. It is everything that you can imagine.
So I'm afraid to ask, but what happens when you don't win then?
Well, that's something that I don't relatively talk about, but as I start to lose, the lights start to dim, the magic starts to fade, the power starts to drain, and I get weaker. But I'm not about to let that happen. I'm not about fading into black because as long as I can stand on my own 2 feet and I see the sideshow freaks sitting in the audience, carrying the magic with them through everything that they do and every cheer that they yell, the big top will stay brighter than ever.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. You never want to be on the other side of things, and yeah, losing your your essence. There's never good. But
The lights keep me going.
yeah, yeah. Much to say, yeah. I mean, brighter the better, right?
That's right.
Do you like being singles or like tag team? Which do you prefer? I know
Well,
some stars are different.
I've done a little bit of both. And until I can go and have multiple matches with the same tag team partner, it's kind of hard to say that I like tag team better than singles because singles, I'm my own man. I can do what I want to, say what I need to say, pull out the stops of what I need to pull out, and make the most each time I'm in the ring by myself. But being a tag team, you either can have somebody who really exaggerates your style of wrestling and is really someone who has your back in the most amazing points, or you've got somebody who's like a weight tied to your foot, making you fall to the wayside each time you think you're about to come and be on top. So it's really a 50-50 thing with a tag team partner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't have to be pinned to lose. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. It's really something that you kind of get through to the gutter. For instance, you don't know if you're going to get a good tag team partner that's going to really make you work better and work more awesome, or you don't know if you're going to get a tag team partner that's going to drag you down and make you lose the match. It's just it's really a roll of the dice. So
But on the other hand, you can get up to two entities, right?
oh,
Per
for
match.
sure, for sure.
So I mean, it's a catch 22. I mean,
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Like I said, if I had it my way, I would be more of a single star. I don't mind working tag team every now and again. But as far as learning my own craft and bettering myself as a professional wrestler and a barker and each thing that people call me, whatever it may be, whether it's bettering myself, that's why I want to stay single.
do you have a favorite wrestler right now that you're watching, or
Well, my favorite wrestler of all time which I have to say mimics in my style as people watch me, is Eddie Guerrero, because some of his older stuff, that is my favorite wrestler of all time, just has to be because of his older stuff. There, he's almost flawless. I mean, it's everything that he pulled off is almost flawless, whether he's taking a move or giving a move. It's amazing. So that's who I've got to say.
yeah? I remember one of my first live events I've ever been to was a SmackDown. I was a little kid, and yeah, it was one of them that had Eddie and Ray team up. I remember so distinctly
Oh,
seeing that Low Rider come out, and I don't remember who they faced or if they won, but that's something that you remember, and that's what wrestling is about in the big leagues and the indies is creating the memories.
that's right. That's right. And that's all I'm about. That's all I'm about, because no matter if I win, no matter if I lose, no matter who I face or who I may defeat or conquer or get defeated by, it doesn't matter. I want them talking as they leave the event when they're on the ride home. I want them still talking about that barker they saw, that crazy clown that they saw. I want them to be enthralled by the wondrous magic that is the big top. That's all I'm here to do.
How long have you been doing this for?
Well, let's say going on 4 years altogether, as Rika Wildlee, the big top, was born in 2019, has been getting brighter ever since, and is only going to captivate the rest of the wrestling world as I continue to move on from town to town.
And the goal is to travel the whole country. Do you plan on going bigger, the whole
The
world?
goal is to show the big top to as many that will be willing to see it. If you're willing to see the big top live, I'm willing to show it to you. I've got tickets out the wazoo, and I'm here to make sure each person gets a front row seat to the sideshow.
I gotta ask too. Like, have you ever faced another clown-esque character before?
No, no, I have not. I've faced a few colorful characters. I have faced Punk Sinister, like I said, in Sinister Storms. He is a very colorful, flamboyant style character. I faced Eddie Love, which he is very, very colorful, more of a groovy guy, if you know what I mean. But as far as a clown, no, no, I have not. I would like to. I would like to see what a clown thinks of the big top that I've created. The carnival, the lights, the wondrous magic. I would like to see what he thinks of what I got going on.
See, dream booking me, I would have done a match against you versus like Doink or something.
Oh, that would be amazing, just out of pure nostalgia.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can dream.
Do you ever do that? Like dream opponents, like thinking of like these like mega stars, or is that just
Well,
a
there's a
distraction?
there's a lot of dream opponents that I would like to face. I mean, just out of pure awesomeness, I think it would be amazing to face Jeff Hardy, just because I think we could put on an amazing show with the things that he does versus the things I do. I think it would just be an amazing match. But I know that's, if ever, way down the line. I know he's on his way out, so I'm kind of doing my own thing. But that would be a dream match for me for sure.
I mean, hey, if you were ever coming up to uh the Northeast in the country, they do what's called New England wrestling. I don't know if you ever heard of it or not, NEW. And
Yeah.
I mean, they do shows very close to my area, about 5 minutes on the road. They did one, and the Hardys were part of it as well. So I mean, hey, you never know. You never know. That could be a possibility. I think. Well, which version of Matt or Jeff would you want?
Well, to be honest, do you remember the match between him and the Undertaker
I believe so. Yep.
in the ladder match?
Yep.
That's Jeff Hardy.
Okay. Okay.
So early 2000s.
I was thinking you were gonna say like Willow.
Oh, well, look, that would be a magical event in itself, wouldn't it? But we can only dream of such an amazing match to take place. But down the line, it may happen.
Actually, that's so good. That could be a tag team right there. I don't think Matt would like it, but
Well, I would like to see Willow live, yet let alone face him. That would be amazing.
have you met any of like these stars before? Or
Recently, I met Diamond Dallas Page
okay,
and Jake the Snake Roberts.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
It was pretty awesome. Got some great pointers on furthering my career from both. And seeing as both of them they have history of doing exactly what I'm doing now, trying to further their career, spread their name across the board so people can see it. You know, I take every word and hold it to my heart because I know that they've been through the same things that I'm doing, you know.
What got you into wrestling? Like what? I know you said Eddie was your favorite, but
I
what's
have been a wrestling fan since I was 8 years old. It is literally the only thing that I ever wanted to do, even up through school, up through junior high, through high school. All of my friends and all of my family, and even the people in the town was like, "Hey, grow up, grow out of that wrestling phase that you do, that fakeness."
mm,
But these are also the same people that were buying tickets to see me when I come to town 25 years later, buying tickets to see me live, buying my shirts, buying my merch, and telling me how they enjoyed the wrestling event that I brought home. So let that be a lesson to each person out there who ever gets told that they aren't good enough, that they'll never amount to anything, that their dreams are too far-fetched. That should only make you drive that much harder to prove them wrong.
yeah, that always seems to be the way too. They'll they'll think it's silly and dumb and everything until you become somewhere, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, hey, this is pretty cool.
That's right. That's right. They all told me it would never happen. They all told me it was all a childish fantasy.
Hey,
But
yeah,
these are the same ones buying tickets, so it makes it just that much sweeter.
I can feel that too. That's kind of how it was when I started this channel out too. Like when I was down all the way down at like 10 subscribers and people were like, "Well, it's not gonna go anywhere. You're just some kid on the internet." Now I'm sitting here talking to you guys and like even if it's not a mega star, like my goal of course is John Cena, but you know,
Oh,
uh
that would be amazing.
it would be amazing, but I've had big stars on here too. Like I said yesterday, I talked to Chris Van Vliet before, Enzo, and like you asked me that 4 years ago, and I would have thought you were insane. So
That's why it's such an honor to be on this podcast, knowing the ones that have come before me and knowing the ones that have laid this groundwork for making it possible for me to even be on here. So
oh
that's
no, I
great.
appreciate it, and I definitely think that the way things are going, we'll definitely have to come back on again. I could see you being a big star.
Well, thank you for that. I really am going to try to do my best to press forward in my career, put everything that I can into Rika and put everything I can into the fans and into the big top. So when everybody gets their eyes laid upon the carnival's lights, they'll know that they're seeing something magical, a once in a lifetime viewing.
Dalton said the one where he earned Taker's respect.
Yes, yes, that one. That is the Jeff Hardy that earned my respect then. I was always a Jeff Hardy fan, but that match really cemented him as a top guy for me. So it would be an honor to face him then. But I know that's all dream match, blah, blah, blah. But still, it would be amazing.
Have you ever met Jeff at all? You said no, right?
No,
That,
no, it would be an honor to meet Jeff Hardy just on the sheer fact that he has done so much that I have aspired to do, and he's one of the many that I have aspired to be like in the wrestling world. So he's definitely an influence.
I got the chance to meet him twice. I saw him once when he came up in NEW, and then I saw him at WrestleMania Access. He actually signed. He's on that title belt back there. He took up like a
Oh,
big portion of it. he was just drawing away. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just doodling. Like, oh, okay. What are you gonna tell him? No.
who's going to tell Jeff Hardy not to doodle? You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, what are you gonna say? Can you not? Like,
well, I mean, you got an original Jeff Hardy, so there you go.
oh yeah, yeah, no, it was definitely a cool design to have on here. So, I mean,
Right.
but have you been to like a big event before? Like, have you been to like a WrestleMania or like a big
When
WWE?
I when I was a kid, I went to some WWE live events, but it's been probably 15 years. No, I take that back. My son was probably 3, so it's been probably 10, 11 years since I've been to an actual show, but I put on many shows. So
Yes, yes, because I can see like being like in a big like the person was telling me this yesterday who I talked to. Same kind of thing. Like you can get that big atmosphere of like a SummerSlam or WrestleMania in a small arena as well. If you get the fans that are there that want to make noise, like they can make it the same
I'll
atmosphere.
explain it to you like this. I'll explain it to you like this. I know all of us, every single one of us, has wrestled on the trampoline and
Yep.
had the pretend crowd out there and they're chanting your name and not a soul in sight. So once you actually decide to make this a career and you get out there and you start performing and putting on matches in front of 5, 10, 20, 300 people, it doesn't matter how many's in the crowd. The fact that there's actual people there and they're cheering for you, whether it's for you getting hurt or whether it's for you getting, taking over somebody, it doesn't matter. The fact that there's real people in the audience cheering you on as a fan, as a wrestler, it makes everything count. It makes it all worth it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's why I think the last couple of years were so difficult for people to get into it more with the whole pandemic era, as people like to call it. Like, how was that for you guys?
Well, the pandemic was a really slow season for whether it was the wrestling school. I mean, luckily I still had the promoing and stuff like that because I was promoting competitively on through Facebook and things like that since social distancing and trying not to leave your house and quarantine and all that kind of stuff. But I was still building the character of Rika Wildlee through Facebook. So over time, it became just that. And then as the pandemic went away, yeah,
The crowds came back, and it just turned back into what it is. Yeah, no,
yep.
you gotta love that though. I mean, kind of like what you said before about the whole trampoline thing. You go from you get that feeling again, that having no one there, and then jumping back into it again.
There is nothing that I have ever felt before, and I have felt a lot, but there is nothing that I have felt before like them cheering your name, the adrenaline that the crowd gives you inside your bones, inside your blood, and inside your heart and soul. Each time one of them says your name, each time you get a high five from a kid who says, Rika, you did amazing. And I'm like, yes, that is why I do this. That is the reason that I go out there and I don't mind getting busted open. I don't mind sweating. I don't mind getting bones broken. I don't mind because these kids are aspiring. They are looking up to characters, to wrestlers like me that maybe one day I can push on the further generations of wrestlers. So one day that I can see these kids that once looked up to me be the guy standing across the ring from me. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
That is that is why I do this.
inspiration, man, inspiration.
Yes, most definitely.
And I saw too. We were talking about earlier. You you were in 2K22. Somebody was playing. Look, it was playing as you.
Yes, I had one of my good friends. He created me on 2K22, made a bunch of different outfits and a bunch of different amazing things that Rika can do. He took my entire move set and he put it onto this game, and he made sure that Rika was the best Rika could be on 2K22. And now he is in character. What is it? Community creations. He is in community creations on 2K22 that anybody can download. I'm pretty sure if you type in grind time on community creations or UWE on community creations or Rika Wildlee on UW or on creator creations, all one word, that you can download me and play as me on your game. It's an amazing thing to see. I've made many characters myself back in the day on the old video games,
Yep.
but seeing me in 2022 being played by all the sideshow freaks is such an amazing thing to see.
Yeah. I mean, you could have Jeff Hardy
That's
versus you on there.
that's what I'm saying. It's insane to see. It really blows my mind, but it makes me humble at the same time. You know,
And it's just the start.
that's right. That's exactly right. This is only the beginning for the big time.
I also, I mean, you like the dark stuff. I'm assuming horror guy, horror movie. You like horror
Oh
stuff?
yes,
All right,
yes, most definitely.
who's your favorite horror character?
I mean, I don't know how far fetched you're gonna take this, but my main man, Captain Spaulding.
Okay, okay. See, for me, I like the Jason movies.
You're a slasher guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I understand. I understand. I love Freddy Krueger. Between him, Jason, and Michael Myers, the three main slashers, I'm more of a Krueger guy myself, just on the sheer fact of kind of the illusion, dream, trippy type stuff he can do. But yeah, I understand being a slasher guy.
I'm also a little biased because people. I mean, obviously my name's not Coaster. People know that on my channel. People know that it's not a big secret. My name's actually really Jason. So there you go.
There you go. There you go.
There you go. Yep, they named me after the slasher back in the day.
Well, lucky this Friday is Friday the 13th.
It
How
is.
about
Yes, 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 sir. It is. And I remember, as I used to work at haunted houses. Every October would come around, and uh, one season it happened to be on Friday the 13th, and they let me be Jason Voorhees up in the woods on top of a ski resort mountain. And it was awesome. I loved it
I bet you did. That's awesome.
because it's just like with wrestling, like what you're doing. It's not like even with that scaring people. My job was obviously to scare people, yes, but I
Right.
wanted it to be memorable as well. So like
Of course.
I didn't just pop out. I would literally chase the people. So
You got to be the best Jason you can be. If you're going
exactly.
to be if you're going to be a character, be the best character you can be. I've said it once and I'll say it again. I've told 1,000 different people this in 1,000 different aspects, but it all remains true. And that is, if you believe it, the characters and the fans will believe it. Because as wrestling fans, we can see through the bullshit. We really can. We can see through the garbage. And if you're not behind your character, if you're not standing behind each word that you say, then the fans can see it. They know what is true and they know what is see through. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah. You gotta love what you do.
That's right.
And
100% nothing.
I give you guys all the credit in the world too. I say this in every single interview. The rings are not they're not like you said earlier. They're not trampolines. They they
Definitely.
they hurt.
They do. They are stiff, stiff, stiff in some. And you just got to, it's called conditioning. It's
Yeah.
called conditioning. Not that it hurts any less. It's just you become more or less immune to it. You become you cope with the pain.
Yeah, I mean, because I went to WrestleMania 35 and they had the original WrestleMania ring set up and everything, and I mean, just getting between the ropes were painful. Like
It can be. It really can be.
people think the
And
ropes are
depending
these like made out of rope, and no, they're not. They're like steel wrapped around in tape. Like
right, right, right. But then again, you got to think if say somebody like Big Show gets up on the rope and gets superplexed, that's got to be some strong rope.
yeah, yeah, that and the fact that yeah, the fact that Big Show would do that to like someone like Omos or something like that. Yeah,
right,
no wonder why the
right,
ring breaks. But yeah, it's not a trampoline. It's hard. I mean, and that's why like when Stone Cold, I don't know if you saw the WrestleMania 38 match with Stone Cold or not, but like that was back in the day. Stone Cold, are you kidding? You seeing him do a match again?
right.
Seeing him take a bump out onto the concrete, like
Yeah.
I don't know how I personally don't know how that feels, but it can't be too good.
No, no. No matter how you take it, a backdrop is a backdrop, and you're gonna get hurt regardless, especially if you're landing on the concrete.
But I mean, you like the pain, so that's all right then.
Oh yes, oh yes. I mean, not that I enjoy getting slammed upon the concrete, but learning learning to cope with it is a magical thing in itself.
What does your schedule look like? Like the training schedule? Is it like every day you getting up doing this stuff, or
Usually, my personal training schedule is I try to make sure that I at least do 100 push-ups a day. That's 5 sets of 20 throughout the day. It's not a lot. It's not strenuous, but it does keep the body in check. Also, usually 3, 4 days a week in the evening, I go to the training academy and I train with the guys and I get in there and I try to better my craft and I try to make sure that by the time I am in front of a crowd, they get the best Rika Wildlee that I could possibly give them. You know, that's our goal.
yeah? And I gotta ask too. So when you do the training and all that, are you in full gimmick, full get up, or
Usually,
yeah?
usually just in case anything gets recorded,
Mm. Yeah,
any of the training spots gets recorded or anything like that, I usually try to stay in full gimmick.
yeah. I see it because like I go back to Cody Rhodes, back when he was doing the Stardust thing. And, like he for all the interviews, no matter what, like all like the Sam Roberts interviews and all that, he was always full Stardust mode. And they're like, well, you didn't have to be, but he's like, yeah, no.
Well, that's what helps people really get behind your character. It gives your character that ambiance of this isn't a man, even though everybody knows that behind every wrestler is just a man. But it makes the character come to life outside of he's just human. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So if you're in character, every time they see you on screen, it doesn't matter if it's in a clip or if it doesn't matter if it's in a match or an interview or whatever, every time they see you on screen, you're in character. It gives them no choice but to believe that is you. You are that character.
yeah. No, the perspective is where what you want. So, and I appreciate that too. Like, you take what you love, and you said it earlier. If you don't love it, you don't do that. People see right through it. So that you have to do it, or else people are gonna be like, well, he's not taking it so serious. I guess then, yeah,
We're all wrestling fans. We all know what we like. We all know what we don't. And as far as trying to sell especially a wrestling fan who has been a wrestling fan for many years, selling them on a character is near to impossible because they've seen it all. They've seen it probably twice.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
they've seen every character probably twice. So if you're selling them on a character and every time you come on screen and each time you captivate the audience and each time you're in the ring, whether you're across from an opponent or here in front of a microphone, it doesn't matter where you're at. If you are that character, then it gives them no choice but to become enthralled and really involved with who you are as a wrestler, as a person, as a gimmick, as a character. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, of course, yeah. It gives them something to want to care about. Yeah, and I keep
Right.
getting distracted by that shirt, man. That shirt's really really freaking cool. The
Thank you.
illusion on it, like it matches everything perfectly. Like I don't know, like coming up with the gimmick that you have, uh, but man, I'm glad to be able to talk with you and see it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And like I said, I wanted to come up with something that was everybody really takes it to he's more of a Joker type or he's more ICP or it. And I wanted because I've seen so many clown wrestlers. I have. I've seen them by the dozen, and they're always either crazy, multiple personalities, come from a sane asylum, um, just scary, over the top. Just and I wanted to break away from that stigma. I wanted to give them a different style of clown, not just a clown that comes out honking a horn, not just a clown that comes out, doing clowny stuff. I wanted to give them a gimmick, a character that they could get behind. That's why the whole Barker of the Bazaar became a thing because everyone is a freak whether they realize it or not. There is no such thing as normality. Everyone is a freak. Everybody is a sideshow freak in their own way, shape, or form. So that's where the sideshow freaks came from. That's where the bizarre ones come from. And that is how you embrace the bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, I I don't know how the response will be from this, but I'm getting kind of like a Chris Angel feel from you, to be quite fair. With
You
that.
know what? That I can respect that because I love Chris Angel and everything he's done. It would be an honor to meet him as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, with the hair, I think too might help you out a little bit with that. But yeah, the whole atmosphere. Yeah. Now, is it hard to wrestle with the mask on too? Like I know from my experience with Scare Crew and stuff like that, it can be kind of hard to do what you need to do. But
Only the only thing that is difficult about wrestling with the mask is you almost have no peripherals.
yep, yep.
I mean, it sucks. At times it really does, especially if you're in a tag team
Yeah, you think he's over
match.
here and he's over there. Yeah.
Right, you can't see. to the side of you really because of the mask. So you just got to kind of guesstimate on everything going on, and yeah. So
Yeah, no,
that, but other than that, the mask is pretty simple to wrestle in.
I could totally get that. They had me up in a $800 full like the mask went all the way down to your chest and the eyes were like so tiny you couldn't see
Oh
anything and
wow.
it's like, yeah, you're gonna put me on top of a mountain in the woods like that. That should be great. But yeah, no,
Right.
like I get that's even more, more respect to you for that, man. It's to be able to not be able to see much and wrestle at the same time. Gotta be able to really focus on what you're doing, you know?
That's right.
Who would be your favorite masked wrestler if you had to pick? I mean,
Ultimo Dragon.
okay, yeah, that's not one I hear all the time.
Yeah. Psychosis or Ultimo Dragon.
Normally, it's the Rey Mysterio or
Right. I know, right. But I think there were so many more dominant luchadors. They just didn't get the push when they needed it. That's all it was.
yeah, yeah. Now I'm sure, like you were talking about earlier, how you get you know, oh the Joker or the this the that. Now, I mean, what were you thinking when you saw the whole Bray Wyatt thing start up, and now it's like, oh, there's another one I'm going to get compared to.
Well, the deal about that was I loved the original Bray Wyatt. The Cajun cult leader style Bray Wyatt. That's the one I loved. And even though I saw him turning into the Fiend, I was like, there's a lot they could do with this character, especially with Undertaker being on his way out.
Yeah,
Undertaker was on his way out. So they could have really made a focus and gave the new dark, phenom, weird, supernatural style gimmick to Bray Wyatt by letting him. They should have let Bray Wyatt as the Fiend defeat the Undertaker and take his urn, which now has the Undertaker's essence in it, and that is what turns Bray Wyatt into the Fiend and gives him the old backstory of now being the new supernatural character. That would have been amazing.
yeah, no, for sure, 100% on board with that. Like, uh, but did you see it as well? Now there's this other like clown-esque character that people are gonna be like, oh well, hey,
No, because that's been done before. Everybody that has done a mask character does a scary mask character.
yeah,
I mean,
pretty
other
much,
than me being a clown, other than me being a clown, there's really nothing scary about me. I mean, but every mask character you see outside of a luchador is weird teeth and scariness, and like Abyss with the black leather thing across his face, and it's all kind of scary
Mick
vibe.
Foley.
Yeah, Mick Foley, right? It's all scary vibe, and that's not what I was going for. I wanted to take something that just captured you got no choice but to look. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That was the whole thing behind Rika and the lights and the mask and everything is you've got no choice but to look. It doesn't matter if you catch it out of the corner of your eye, you're gonna take a second glance, like, what did I just see? And
is that
and
where
that's the
the black and white stuff came from too, or
well, I've always been a fan of like the galaxy spiral.
okay,
And in high school, I made a deal. It's a spiral, just a galaxy spiral, and it's got a finger like this pointing to it, just like a hand like that, pointing in just at the galaxy. And now I have that as a tattoo right there. It's a hand pointing to a galaxy.
okay,
Yeah,
kind
but
of kind of
I
see it.
made, yeah, well, yeah, I made that as psychedelic touch. That was the whole thing, was psychedelic touch, bright lights and just crazy colors and all that kind of stuff, because in reality, one touch creates change. That was the whole basis behind the tattoo and the logo and everything. Like me and you don't really know each other, but the fact that we done this interview together, my life will forever be changed and yours will too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's the whole deal. One touch creates change. So
absolutely, man, absolutely. And most of the time, especially like with doing this, like you said, it will just elevate the people that come on, and um,
that's right.
like I said,
Right.
I could see being in many more big promotions, and hopefully
That'd be
on
awesome.
TV. Yeah,
That'd be great. I would love that, and it would be amazing.
I
But
could
like I said, I'm just taking it slow at the moment and riding the wave, man.
NXT
Going
3.0 has those crazy colors.
yes, yes.
But would you do like if they came up to you, they're like, "Listen, we're gonna do an Inferno match." That's something you would love to do?
I wouldn't, depending on what company and what it was for, I wouldn't turn it down.
Yeah,
If the stipulations were right, I would do it. I wouldn't do it just for, a small crowd with no stipulation, no title, no nothing. No, I wouldn't do that.
yeah, yeah. But they'd be like, "All
I
right, there's gonna be like 1,500 people out there. It's gonna be for the big title. Let's do it." Like,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, it's happening. It's going down.
yeah, that's awesome. You don't get a lot of people that would want to do something like that, catch on fire or whatever chances, and but like you
Without
said,
risk, there's no reward, man. Without risk, there's no reward.
yeah. So I mean, you said a little bit about your training. Like you train what? You said 7 days a week. You said, or
3 or 4 days a week, give or take.
yeah, and that
Yeah.
like it beats you up still to this day, right? I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We get in there and we do practice matches and all that kind of stuff just to stay you know as sharp as we can. So when we do get in front of a crowd, we're not botching all these moves and all that kind of stuff. Um, it's just that's our main focus is making sure we can give the fans and everybody that paid their hard-earned money for a ticket the best show that we possibly can. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you have a favorite move to take, or
My favorite move to take. Oh, that's a rough one.
some are easier than others, I assume.
My favorite move to take is a backdrop.
Yeah.
A backdrop. Getting thrown as high as physically possible and flying through the air and just landing flat on my back. That is my favorite move to take.
Yeah, it's because it's one of the easier ones to do, or
Well, people see it as the bigger move, but in
yeah.
all reality, from the wrestler's perspective, it gives you a lot of time to correct,
Yep.
to put your body in line to where you land right and not land messed up and get hurt. It gives you a lot of air time to correct yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect example of that, I believe, is Montez Ford. I mean, he flies all over the place
Right.
when he gets thrown around. He'll do the frog splash, and he'll like jump like 6 feet first.
That's right.
But I mean, like, I would think like the Styles class should be somewhat easy to take. Kinda. I don't know if you ever taken anything like that before, but
Yeah, it is easy to take, but I don't like taking it because it doesn't look devastating. I
yeah,
know it's the style flash, but it doesn't. If it's coming from AJ, that's one thing. But taking it from a random Joe Blow, it does nothing.
oh, that's like the RKO. You have to get it from Randy then.
Right. I did get a cutter from DDP though.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty cool.
I got a picture of him holding me in the cutter like this.
The
So
original, yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. And that was
yeah.
when you recently met him.
Yes, that was when I recently met him. We had drove down, me and a couple of the guys, we had loaded up and drove down to Gonzales, Louisiana, and they had a WrestleCon down there. And we met and talked with a bunch, and it was really eye opening as far as learning the business.
Yeah. No, I'll be. There's one in Jersey in June. Bray's gonna be there again. That's really why I'm going to see him. I met him once already, but I'm gonna be meeting him. Brett is gonna be there and a bunch of others. But they recently added Scotty 2 Hottie, and I think that's really cool because I was watching him when I was younger too. So
That's awesome. That'd be cool to get Bray Wyatt on your podcast.
Yeah, I've already asked about that once. He's got so much going on, but
Yeah,
it's
we can
it's
wish.
it's harder too, like with these bigger start, like in these actual like companies too, because it has to go through PR and all that. So it's like once they're in a
Right,
company where there's contracts involved, I'm like, okay, well, we'll see where this goes.
right.
But I know one of my up and coming ones is supposed to be with Santino Morella, so we'll see with that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, with the flip of the switch with the Cobra and everything. Yeah, but yeah, I appreciate you definitely talking to me, and I always ask the guests if they ever have any questions for me. Flip it around before we always end. So do you
Well,
have?
I mean, everything that I would have asked, you've already answered, and that's who you've interviewed, and how what you've been doing, and all this kind of stuff. So you pretty much answered all of that. But I'm glad. I'm so glad that I got to be on your podcast, and I hope we can do it again soon. Like I said, it's a mutual thing. You help me, I help you. I love doing this kind of stuff and showing the wrestling world from a different perspective, even if it's in character, or even if I'm just sitting back talking normally. It really doesn't matter what version of me you get. I just want to make sure that each time I'm on screen and each time I have the privilege of being interviewed by somebody, it doesn't matter who it is, that I give the best version of me that I can for you guys. So
Yeah, man, we appreciate it too. One last thing. Do you have any advice for I know my buddy, his name's he goes by Johnny Bates. Again, he's from the UK. He's a wrestler. I mean, he's kind of young still. I'm thinking I forgot how old, like 15, 16 now, but he's been
all right.
training for a while and any advice for upcoming new wrestlers?
Only take big bumps when they matter. Only take big bumps when they matter. It'll make your body last so much longer. And always, 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 always never settle for the first price given. The wrestling world is huge, and there's so many different things you could do. But if you're wanting to pursue in-ring wrestling, stick to it. Stay true to you. Make the most of who you are and what your gimmick is, and don't let anybody tell you that your gimmick is garbage, that you won't ever get over, because who needs to believe in you is you. Make the most of your time in the spotlight. That's all I can say.
Yeah, oh, excellent advice too. So yeah, definitely we will definitely have to do this again. Next time you'll be able to meet him probably, and if you know, you know in
Um,
the chat. But yeah, my alter ego there. I don't take him out that much anymore as I used to, but once October rolls around, it's game on. So it's a whole
oh
new feat. So but where can everybody find you? I know I
yeah.
got the links and everything in the description and everything, but what do you got going on? Yeah, shows coming
Well,
up
we
or
got yes. Let's see. Okay, you can find me on Twitter, Rika Wildlee. You can find me on Facebook, Rika Wildlee. You can Google Rika Wildlee. All my stuff should pop up. But Pro Wrestling Tees, you can look up Rika Wildlee. Um, there's uh, what is it, TikTok? You can find me on there. I've got most of my match clips on there. I really need some subscribers on that anyway. But you can find me all throughout there. Facebook is where I'm most active, and I try to make sure that I put something out for the Sideshow Freaks every single day. And I just want you guys to know one thing, that no matter how many times I come across your screen, no matter how many bright lights that you may see in your future, and no matter how many amazing moments that Rika Wildlee sees in his future, there's a couple of events that are going to come across the board here before long. We've got, let's see, Center, Texas, June 2nd. Oh, wait. Yes, I believe it's Center, Texas, and then Columbia, Louisiana, and then Alexandria, Louisiana, at the riverfront, August 27th. So, as the big top comes to your town, I want you guys to know one thing, and it'll always remain true. Beyond the big top, the carnival awaits.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, with that, I do thank you for your time for coming on. It was much appreciated. If you want to
Thank you,
stick
sir.
around for a couple minutes afterwards, and we'll chat a little bit more, I guess, before we go. Um, but for everybody
Uh,
else, thank you for joining. We will be back. I don't have another date yet when I'm gonna set something else up. I work retail 6 days a week this this coming week, so
I
but
understand.
yeah, we will definitely set something up, and trust me, it's not the last time our paths will cross on this channel. So I
Awesome, awesome. Can't wait.
appreciate it. All right, guys, we will see you in the next interview. Peace.
Let it go.